You take time for yourself without feeling guilty? Welcome to Showing Up 100, the podcast where we explore the art of self care, self love, and living in the present moment. I'm your host, Melissa,
And I'm Carmen.
and today we're going to start a profound journey of self care and self love. In a world that moves fast, where distractions pull us in multiple directions, and it's very easy to forget the beauty of simply just being, right? So today we're going to explore how presence, time, and memories are vital elements of self care and self love. We'll also introduce a special challenge to encourage you to integrate these concepts into your daily life. So let's begin with now, the present moment. It's all really we truly have. Yet, how often, right, Carmen, how often do we find ourselves caught up in regrets, right, about past, about things that have happened in our past, or really sometimes even anxiety, which we feel like is things that we're worried about that are going to happen in the future?
Yeah, way too often, right? And when we live in our heads, we miss what's happening right in front of us. Self care begins with choosing to be here now.
Right. I can't say that enough. Exactly. Mindfulness teaches us that being present reduces stress and it enhances our well being. A simple practice like deep breathing, noticing your surroundings, or really even feeling, the warmth of the sun on your skin can all anchor you into the present moment.
Yeah, let's try some of that together right now.
Great.
So you could either right now take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. And then I want you to really feel the air filling your lungs, maybe your feet on the ground, right? That's really presence. So go ahead and take another deep breath in slowly. Notice the air coming in and filling up your lungs, and then exhale slowly as well. And be very present to that air coming in and filling in the lungs and exhaling. Excellent. And then another one that you can do is maybe close your eyes if you can, right? If you're not driving, go ahead and close your eyes and just kind of become aware of your subtle inner vibration, right? Your inner energy. It might feel like tingly, it might feel maybe warm or cold. It might even feel like it's pulsating. I just want you to notice, notice that inner energy, inner vibration. By you being present, you can really feel how you're feeling in the inside, right? So this is something that you can open your eyes now, but this is something that you can practice, right? Just take your time to feel that inner presence. Just take time for you.
Past, and really the uncertainty of the future. And that, my friends, right, is self care.
Yeah. And now that we're here in the present moment, let's talk about time, right? Specifically the time that we dedicate to ourselves. Living each day fully, meaning prioritizing you without guilt.
How hard is that for so many people? But think about what brings you joy. It can be the simple things, a morning walk, journaling. I like to sip my tea in the morning as I watch the sunrise. When we intentionally care or carve out time for ourselves, we basically affirm our worth. Self care is not selfish. I'm going to say that again. Self care is not selfish, it is essential.
Very well said. And when we nourish ourselves, we show up better for those around us, right? It's better to show up with a full cup So I challenge you this week, take 10 minutes each day to do something that brings you joy just for you. You deserve this time. You do so much for others. Now let's do something for you.
Yes. Yes. If you feel any sort of resistance to this idea, ask yourself, why do I feel guilty about prioritizing myself? That self awareness is really part of the journey. And after all of that, let's talk about memories. What memories are you creating today? We think about that all the time with our loved ones and with our children. We want to create these beautiful, special moments that they'll always cherish.
Yeah.
But what are we doing for ourselves, right? Right. Love and time are interconnected.
Absolutely. And when we spend quality time with ourselves and with those that we care, we create moments that really nourish our souls. So imagine looking back on today. Would you have liked to make more memories, take more photos or pictures? And that reminds me of what Bad Bunny talks about. Um, or how would you like to remember it?
Right. A great self practice is to take a moment at night to just reflect. You know, what was one beautiful moment I experienced today? And it could be the simplest of things. Maybe it was something that made you laugh or just giggle, or maybe you had a really deep or heartfelt connection with your best friend. I mean, Carmen and I do this daily, which I love. We just sit and talk about things that really mean something to us. And sometimes it can just be a simple moment of peace.
Yeah. And like Melissa said, sometimes you might also be guided to just journal that, right? So then you could kind of look at that memory, something you remembered, right? And if we want to live fully, we must create these moments, right? Intentionally. That's the key word, intentionally, right? We're doing this with intention. So this month, I challenge you to be fully present with someone you love, whether it's a conversation without distraction, a walk together, even if you're walking your dog, right? You could be present at that moment instead of looking maybe at your cell phone. Maybe stay present with the walk, how your body feels, how the dog's pulling on the leash, who knows, right? But there's so many ways that we can practice being present. Or maybe even a simple hug when you're hugging someone, right? Maybe even while washing dishes. I find that when I wash dishes, my mind wants to wander away, right? It wants to think about what I left undone, what I need to do, or maybe sometimes thoughts that I'm like, what? That's like 10 years ago, right? When I'm washing dishes. And that's a good time to practice, right? When you're washing dishes, because you have to bring yourself back to the present moment. I'm like, okay, let's keep washing these dishes and staying here. So I think washing dishes is one of the places where you can really practice staying in this present moment.
Exactly. I call it my dishwashing meditation.
Yeah, right.
I will get more inspiration when I'm doing my dishes than really any other time because yes, you know, I'm in the moment. I'm letting my mind relax and yes, you're just open to receiving your own guidance. So I love that. Okay, so before we close, let's introduce our self-care challenge. This is going to be a challenge that lasts the whole month. Oh my goodness, we're going to spend a whole month on ourselves, Carmen. And each week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're going to set a challenge in the morning for our listeners to help develop their own self care practice. So be sure to tune in for that morning video, no matter what time you get up in the morning for whatever your day holds. Okay? And then in the evening of that same day, we will go live and we'll see how the challenge went for you that day. What were your experiences? What insights did you have? Was there an easy exercise, or did you find, like I do, sometimes we have resistance to doing an activity for ourselves? and let's support each other. Let's become each other's support group where we talk through it and we share, encouragement to help each other know that we are important and we need to make ourselves a priority. Okay, so we will be chatting live with our followers in the live chat.
Yeah. And the more we share, I find that you give others permission to say, "Oh, I'm not alone in this," right? And you could really help support someone else by your sharing. So for this week, there's three things you can practice, right? Daily presence, like checking in. Set a reminder. And I usually set an alarm for each hour to either just kind of close my eyes briefly or look away from the computer. But you can probably pause for 1 minute, breathe deeply, and just center yourself at any time. Melissa, do you want to share an example of how you might do this on a daily basis?
I do something similar. I do. Mine reminds me to get up from the desk
Mm, yeah,
because I get so involved in projects, whether that's editing or whatever else that I'm working on, that I will find sometimes I'll be at my desk all day and I will not have gotten up once. So I'll do the same. But for me, it's like taking a little moment to just check in with myself, let the blood flow. But I love the alarm suggestion. I think it's very beneficial.
yeah. And I love the standing up because it's true. Sitting in one position could really stiffen up the body. So standing up is an excellent um, practice. Now, number two, 10-minute joy practice. So maybe dedicate 10 minutes to something that brings you pure joy, without guilt, of course. Even laughter. Sometimes we forget to laugh. And laughter is the highest energy your body can hold, right? So, in the presence of laughter, you can't be angry. You could only hold one emotion at a time, right? So, find something to bring you joy or laughter. And the way I do this, sometimes I go into social media and I already uh, follow certain pages that are just about comedy, so I could go in there when I find myself too serious, right? When I'm too serious, I find that my creativity doesn't flow as as well as when I'm laughing, because when I laugh, my energy expands, right? So yeah, find something that brings you joy and laughter. And Melissa, if you could give more examples for people to follow, that would be great.
Right, there's so many different things, and I know it's so hard not to feel guilty because we our days get so full. But one thing that I do is I make appointments for myself,
Mm.
and then I will tell my family and friends, "Oh, I have an appointment." And it can be anything, you can just go for a walk, or you can, run to the store to pick something up just for yourself, or, go if you want to take more than 10 minutes, go get a massage,
Yeah.
whatever it is, but just a simple thing. But I find if I set it down in stone, which for me is writing it down or putting in my calendar, then I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I've got to do that, at 3 o'clock. So that's my suggestion. And maybe that will work for you too.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, number three, creating meaningful memories, right? Do something that you cherish looking back on, whether alone or with a loved one. Maybe take a picture of something you cherish. For me, it's always my dog, of course. She always brings a big smile. It doesn't matter what she's doing or how she's looking. I love to take pictures of her and just looking at her. It brings me a lot of joy.
I love that. It's funny, we do this so often for our children or people that we love or care about. We want them to have meaningful memories that will carry through, their lifetime. And it doesn't have to be something big. It's like you said with your dog, it can be small moments that, just take a little memory that you hold in your heart. So do that for yourself. You think about how important that is. You feel that it could be for others. Why wouldn't that be just as important for you?
Mhm.
So Anyway, I love these. Thank you, Carmen. Those are great, great ideas, and I can't wait to get started. We'll be starting these the first week
Mhm.
of March. So please, please tune in, share your experiences with us on social media, and of course in the comments, so that we can support each other.
Yeah. So loving ourselves is really a lifelong journey. It really isn't a destination. By living in the now, nurturing ourselves, and creating meaningful memories, we really do honor the life we're living.
Great. So let's take this journey together. Show up for yourself because you are worthy of your own time, your own love, and your own self care.
Mhm. Thank you for joining us today. Please share this with someone that would like a little extra love and presence. Until next time, remember you are worthy of your own time, love, and care. So drop a comment and let us know what you'll be working on for the month of March.